Tiro Park, Saturday, 5th of April 2008. Ed Cousins, Director, Interacting. Interacting, we're approached by John Harris of Redcar in Cleveland to take part in the MOODLE, and I had no idea what he was talking about. He talks a lot. It often happens. My first proper knowledge of what I was getting into was on our preparatory meeting when we met in February of last year, 2007. And what I saw was a technology that was very user-friendly, and I could see immediately benefits to Interacting's service to its clients that we could get from being able to use such a thing and promote it. So from that point on, we were committed to learning about the MOODLE, which we've been very successful in doing, in learning about it. We still feel like a toddler when it comes to using it. There's a lot we have to learn, but we see tremendous possibilities for the type of educational theatre that we present from tying up with the MOODLE. We will also learn about the restrictions of it, but it's more at the moment about opening new possibilities. And that's been very stimulating. We've been very happy to have the input of our English partners here who have trained us a lot in the use of this, and that sort of support that we get is invaluable to working with this. The MOODLE technology is known in name by many Spanish people, but there isn't anybody who actually knows how to work with it effectively and interactively. Many of the official teacher training bodies have MOODLEs as their web page, but they don't use it to the same way. There's a great need in this country for people to learn how to use the technology. I don't see that we would lead on supplying that need, as we're very basic users ourselves, but it's something that we can look into. In the future, I'd like to see the MOODLE as a stepping stone, and again, John Harris and I have been working together on several ideas of large-scale projects, and we see the MOODLE as a way of keeping the partnership alive that we started on our very first project and developing into quite an important scheme. This is language theatre sports that we want to get onto, and we see the MOODLE as something that we could use as a means of communication for the language theatre sports. From the last visit in England, which was very important launching part for the project, Interacting took on a project which we were going to do anyway, but built in an element of MOODLE training. Our mini project within the MOODLE project was to organise a live broadcast, an interactive interview with characters from our plays and children who are preparing to see a show. In order to do this, to make it work, we had to introduce the technology of the MOODLE to a group of teachers who were taking part in the project. So we organised some training for them, and as part of that training, we trained them in the use of the MOODLE so that they could then get their students to work with it. We've had varying degrees of success with this, and have actually brought the broadcast into being. We did that on Thursday 2 days ago, which had highs and lows and many things that we will take from it. Also, as part of getting things organised, we invited Phil to come over from Middlesbrough to help us with technical issues and to show us how to do the broadcast, and that was fantastic that we could take him over. We invited him to join the training of the teachers group, so he came to that meeting in Alcalá de Henares and helped the teachers to open it up and get in, and made sure that everything worked the way we wanted it to work. and so it looked great. It was fantastic. We've also been developing our MOODLE as a resource bank for all of our students. Whatever course they've done, they now get an access to the MOODLE. We're still playing with what's the most effective access, and Phil has been giving me some advice on that. We still have to see what is the correct thing. We often get sensitive materials such as photographic images of children, so we can't have a general access to that. It has to be controlled. That gives us difficulties when we want to broadcast something. Where do we put it on the MOODLE? Interesting things, but our MOODLE is constantly having material added. What we still have to see, what we hope we will see, is that our users become more interactive. At the moment it's us posting things and people taking it off as opposed to them being able to upload it. The solution here, I think, is that our users need some training. From working within the project with our students, being Spanish teachers, we've come up against the major difficulty we have is that of hardware itself. We find that the schools are equipped with out-of-date computers, that there aren't enough for the students to work with. They don't have computers that are online in every classroom. They don't have any interactive whiteboards. So the MOODLE technology is still a bit of a dream for the Spanish classroom, for working with our clients. We tried to do some testing of both chats and video chat on the MOODLE, and found that only 1 or 2 people could log in. The teachers didn't even have computers in their homes, so they were going to internet cafes to log on, and some of these weren't very good. So that's a major problem that we have in Spain, is people don't have the technology necessary to make things work. We hope to see things going in another way. We're developing a similar project but with schools in Northern Ireland where they do have the technology, so it'll be fascinating to see whether or not we can run things much better when the technology is better at the school end. Now, and our visit to France, we hope to have another video broadcast, an interview, this time with a group of students who have already seen the show and so know the characters of Passepartout and Phileas Fogg from seeing them live on stage. And we will try again to have a similar situation where they come together from the different schools and run the interview, knowing what we know as well about how to get better sound. Hopefully we'll have a better product from that. As well as that, I'd like to see the possibility that we're in communication more through the MOODLE than we have been in the past. It's been interesting to play host to this meeting, in that we're hosting a lot of courses, but this time it's not a course, it's a project, and we have a lot of tried and trusted places that we take people, and so we're quite confident that we can deliver good quality on restaurants and places. It's interesting to see whether or not people have felt that we achieved our objectives in terms of showing our work with the MOODLE. I mean, we're used to showing our work, and I got a feeling that many people enjoyed the actual interacting activities. Whether they're able to see the connection of the impact on the MOODLE, whether we have to spell that out, I don't think we do really, but I'm interested to hear how other people felt about it. The timing of the meeting for us was not brilliant, because it's in the middle of a very, very busy time for us. We could have dedicated more resources in terms of manpower and staffing to be around this had it been in the original dates that we'd spoken of. But at the same time, I'm happy with the work of my team, and hopefully other people have enjoyed them.